morning. Root through your sit bones, get the wiggles. Move around, find a comfortable seat. Today we are going to work on some mobility stuff. I've been doing some mobility work on my own and decided I'd start to incorporate some more mobility. So root through your sit bones, lengthen through your spine, come to stillness, hands in lap, eyes closed or a soft gaze at the floor. Come into your breath. Couple nice big deep breaths. Just letting everything settle, letting thoughts settle, letting body settle. Kind of preparing yourself for your time here, time within the body. Be ready to listen to it, to feel, to listen to what it has to tell you. Allow your breath to return to a nice, slow, uncontrolled, even breath. How does your breath feel in your body today when you don't control it? The funny thing about the breath is that when you think about it, you start to control it. See if you can just release it and let it go on its own. But still observing it, still feeling it. Trying not to be judgmental of it. We're going to start our mobility with movement. So dropping our head down and then lifting it up. And sliding back down, lifting back up. And down and up. And down and hold and take the nose from side to side. Keep the side to side motion, but slowly start to raise your head until it's back over on top of the spine. Keep your side to side. Pausing over at the right. I want you to imagine that you're drawing an arc or rainbow with your nose and you're taking it up and over your head and down to the left side. Up and over your head and down to the right side. Drawing that nice big arc with your nose. Back and forth. Pausing on the left side. Bring your head back to center. Bring your hands to your shoulders, having your elbows point forward. You're going to imagine that you have a pencil on the tip of your elbow and you're going to draw nice big circles starting forward, up close to the ear, and then opening as much as you feel comfortable with this morning. You may find that your circles get a little bit wider as your muscles warm up. Nice big circle all the way around. And bring your elbows to face directly forward and let's go the other direction, taking them down and around. Being nice and slow and gentle to help keep from having too much clicking, grinding. Maybe you need to make your circle a little smaller if you have a bunch of clicking and grinding. Pause with the elbows out to the side. You got like the little teeter-totter thing. So without moving your torso, I want you to take right down and left up, and then left down and right up, just like you're the center of a teeter-totter. Don't let your spine move at all. Your spine is the access point. Up and down, not leaning. And then slowly start to get your spine involved, leaning a little tiny bit side to side, a little bit to start till you feel your spine is warmed up. And then you can gradually start to make it a little bit bigger, like you're going to poke your hip bone with your elbow. Coming up nice and tall. Bring your elbows forward. And I want you to round your back like you're going to bring your elbows together to touch at your belly button. And then I want you to take the elbows up and open the chest and take them up to either side and then back down. Tuck into the belly button. Open up, elbows to the side, like if you were doing a Y with your arms, but your arms are not extended. Rounding into the belly button. Open up. Feel your chest lift. As you open up, imagine taking your shoulder blades down your back toward your butt. Nice and slow, warm up the body. And this time, as you come back, let's just line up, relax your hands to your lap. Intuitively move as your body feels necessary. Rolling, twisting, whatever you want to do, shaking out. You can just shake, you can stay still. And then I want you to come back to your beginning posture where your hands are on your lap, your eyes are closed, or you have a soft gaze. And just evaluate your shoulders, your upper back, chest, your arms, your fingers. How do things feel? Your neck. And before we stand, we'll utilize some of that mobility to now stretch. Drop right ear to right side. Press left arm out to the side of the stop sign. And I want you to do a little wax on, wax off with your left hand. So you're doing little tiny circles and go both directions. Just switching back and forth whenever you feel like it. And I want you to keep doing those little circles and slowly lower down, like you're waxing down the side wall. I do a couple one direction and then I go to a couple the other direction as I slowly lower. You get all the way down to where your arm can lower no further. Relax your hand, relax your arm. Turn your chin towards your right shoulder. Turn your face forward again. Bring your head back up. Hand to the lap. Let's do the other side. Left ear to left side. Right hand out to the side, stop sign. And then keeping it parallel to the floor, your little wax on, wax off, little tiny circles through the palm of the hand, generated from the whole shoulder, not the elbow, not the wrist. And then slowly start lowering your little circles. Make sure you're alternating between forward and back every couple of circles or so. You may think that mine is taking forever. Just really trying to be present in the motion of the shoulder and how it changes the further down your arm gets. Once you can't lower your arm any further, relax the whole hand and arm. Turn your chin towards your left shoulder. Bring your chin back forward. Bring your head back up, arm back up. And then just roll or twist, move your head around, move the shoulders around, whichever feels the best. So now that we've kind of felt our shoulders and just really we're in tune with the going down, I want you to bring your arms up to the side parallel with the floor. And bend your elbows. So you're in your cactus or goalpost. I don't care what you do with your hands. This is really a shoulder exercise. And I want you to just kind of lift and lower your shoulders only about an inch, or your elbows, your arm, only about an inch. Feel the muscles in your upper back and shoulders that use this motion. And then I want you to take your elbows up to around the eyeballs and back down. And just keep going from parallel to eyeball level and back down with your elbows. Pay close attention to your upper back and your shoulders. The reason we're doing this is once you lift your arms over parallel, a different set of muscles begin to take over in the body to utilize your arm motion. Slowly lower down, relax our arms. We're going to give them a break. We're going to stand here in a second, shake them out, roll, whatever feels good. Stand and focus on legs and balance, or hips and balance, or whatever, however you want to say that. Giving our arms a complete break for a little while. So we're going to stand, and I want you to put your chair off to the side so we can work on one leg at a time. So you want to make sure you have space. You're not going to kick anything over here. And move over a little bit more. Tad bit more. Okay. All right. So I want you to put the weight on your left leg. Well, for me, it's left leg. I've got my left leg closest to the chair, whichever leg is closest to the chair. And I want you to take your right leg off the floor. I have my toes touching, just my toes, helping with my balance. I want you to root into your left foot, or whichever one is next to the chair. Lengthen through the crown. We're going to work on a little bit of our mobility through the hip. I want you to imagine that you have a bar or a rope or a fence post or a hurdle that you have to get your leg up and over. And then you're going to tap at the back of your heel. So your hurdle might only be this big. That's okay. Your hurdle may be way up here, and that's okay. So just find your hurdle. Find your mobility in your hip. Tapping it back and forth. If you want to work a lot more on balance, you can release or barely touch with your fingers. And if there's two different ways you can approach this. You can approach this with keeping your hips facing forward. You can approach this with opening your hip up to the back and closing your hip back up forward. So check which one feels better. This feels better on my hip, but it's not as easy with the balance. So there's a give and take there. If you want to work more balance, then just keep it smaller. If you want to, if you want to work balance more, go bigger. If you want to work actual hip mobility more, then you can keep it smaller and just work side to side. All right, take a break. And you're probably were screaming at me to take a break a long time ago. Shake it out. So you can either turn around, face the other direction, move your chair to the other side, which for this one, I just feel like I need to do that today, that I need the chair. And it's okay to need the chair. All right, switch your support leg. Start with taking your toes and putting them in right in front of your other toes. My big toes are lined up. I don't have my whole foot in front of my other foot. I just have my big toes lined up. And then lengthen up nice and tall. Lift, take it around and lower. Find your mobility. You may find that one side is easier than the other. Again, we're avoiding any crunching, clicking, working a little bit on balance and a little bit on the mobility of the hip joint. And even if you don't have your original hip joint, you still have your original, you still have ligaments and muscles to make this movement happen. And they are now stabilizing and supporting the new joint. Thus, this is still beneficial. And relax, shake it out. Step side to side. I don't know why stepping side to side is one of my favorites after I've worn my hip out a little bit or my thighs. Bouncing my legs, bouncing my foot off the floor, whatever of those feels good for you. All right, I'm going to get my chair out of the way a little bit. All right, so we're going to lean forward in a forward fold, but while we're down there, we're going to do some stuff. So if you want to watch this first, so you're not trying to peek up awkwardly, we're going to go a little bit wider than outside your elbows. If you did the W and did go just an itty bit wider than your elbows. And if you cannot touch the floor or do not feel mobile enough to touch the floor, you can get a block, a footstool, a chair even, and put it in front of you and utilize a lot of this with that as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come forward, I'm going to reach for the floor, then I'm going to walk over to one side. Now you can watch this without doing it first. I'm walking over to one side, and when you do that, your weight comes to the side you walk to. I want you to shift your hips and bend your knee to the other side. Does that make sense? And then we'll come back and we'll walk over to the other side. The weight comes over here. We're going to shift our weight and bend our knee to the other side. Okay? So when you're ready, get in your position. Feet are comfortable. So they don't have to be facing directly forward. They don't have to be way out. They can be at a comfortable position for your knees. Okay? Hinge at your hips. Come forward, reach for your chair, your block, your floor, whatever you're going to use. Take a breath there first, opening up the hamstrings. Knees are soft. We're going to walk our hands to the right first. Feel the weight transition to the right leg. Now bend the left knee and move your hips towards the left side of your body. Feel that more stretch on the inner right thigh, back of right thigh. Straighten the left leg. Feel the weight come back to the right side. Walk your hands to the center. Stop and take a breath. Walk your hands to the left side. Feel the weight go over to the left hip, the left leg. Bend the right knee and move your hips to the right side. Move the stretch into the back of the left leg, inner left thigh. Straighten the right leg. Walk your hands back to center. Take a breath. We're going to do another on each side. Walk your hands right. Feel the weight on the right leg. bend the left knee, move the hips to the left side. Straighten the left leg, walk hands to center. Breathe. Walk hands to left. Feel the weight on the left leg. Bend the right knee, move hips towards right side. Stretch through the left. Straighten the leg. Walk hands to center. You can straighten your back. You can bend into a squat a little bit to straighten the back more. Squeeze the butt, press yourself up, getting up however you feel most comfortable. Shake out the legs, bring them back together. Hope everybody did okay with that. All right, good job. Got another leg, hip, fun stuff. So we're going to put the chair in front of us. And you're going to stand about a foot away from the chair. And I want your feet to be the width of the chair legs. Actually, I'm going to change that. I want your feet to be wherever they feel most comfortable when you're in this position. So if you'll just get in this position for a moment and just feel where your feet need to be so that your knees feel supported. You squeezing through the butt, wherever you feel most comfortable. Now, we're obviously not going to all feel comfortable with our knees in really close. We need to have them out further for support. So wherever that feels most comfortable. All righty. So we're going to take a nice deep breath up. Hinge at the hips, come forward, and then take those hands to that location that we were just at. Make sure your feet are where you want them. Bend the knees and take the butt back in space so the knees don't come forward. Then I want you to lift your arm and down. Other arm, lift and down. Come up halfway, just halfway. Pull the belly in. I want you to take your weight to the left foot, tap out to the side with the right, tap to the back with the right, return it, switch your weight to the center. Switch your weight to the right foot. Tap out to the side with the left, to the back with the left, bring it back under the hip, and center your weight. Press yourself up. Deep breath up. Exhale, come forward, hinging at the hips, keeping the knees softly straight, hands on either side of the chair. Bend your knees and press your hips back as if you're going to sit down. Pull the belly in, lengthen the spine. Lift right arm, back down. Lift left arm, back down. Bring your hips up about halfway. Switch your weight to the right. Tap out with left, tap back with left. Bring the left foot back, weight centered. Switch weight to the left. Tap out with right, tap back with right, back to center, weight to center. Press yourself up. Deep breath up. And exhale down. Shake it out. We're going to go to the floor, but don't move your chair. Leave your chair just like it is. Coming all the way down to the floor. We've done this one other time before, once or twice before. So I have my feet underneath my chair, and I'm just going to scooch up a little bit. If you have a, I don't remember what I was going to say. Scoot up a little bit so that you can be nice and tall, knees bent, hands on either side of the chair. Now you're going to lean back and you're going to use, excuse me, you're going to use the chair for support. So if you are reaching as far as you can already and you're sitting tall, you might need to either scooch forward or bring the chair a little bit forward so that you can lengthen and lean back and hold onto that chair like so. Okay? Get my chair a little more situated. So bring it as close as you feel like you need it to hang on. You may just want to touch it, the tips of it, when you lean back so that you have that support, or you may want to really grab it. So figure out where you want it. Lengthen tall through your crown. Knees are hip width apart. Feet are hip width apart. Toes are relaxed. Wiggle out your toes. Lengthen through your crown. Take a deep breath. Exhale and roll back onto the back part of your sit bone, keeping your spine straight. Hold onto the chair. Pull the belly in. Slowly roll back onto the tops of the sit bones. And you can hunch and relax. You can relax your legs against the chair if you want to for a moment. Take a breath. Sit up tall. Knees hip width, feet hip width. Lengthen, deep breath. Exhale, lean back. You don't have to go very far. Pull the belly in. Hold on to the chair for support. If you're feeling like a badass today, take those hands off if you want to. Breathe. Slowly bring yourself back up. Relax your arms, relax your back, relax your legs. You can relax them by straightening them. I'm just resting them on the outsides of my chair legs. All right, we're going to do it one more time. So I want you to challenge yourself a little bit more on this last time. Lengthen tall. Reset your legs. Deep breath. Exhale, lean back as far as you feel comfortable. Really draw that belly into the spine to help support the body. Breathe. Find that challenging thing, whether it's lifting your arms or lowering down a little bit more. Find that challenging something for yourself. You're going to wiggle, you're going to shake, you're probably going to sweat. It's okay. Breathe. Who said you had to do sit-ups to work your abs? Slowly come back up and relax. Get the chair out of your way. And I'm going to face forward. You can face whichever direction you'd like. It's easier for you to watch me facing forward. All right. So we're going to go side to side with our knees. So we're going to start with our knees up. We're going to roll over onto our right hip. Knees come to the floor. My left hip is completely off the mat. And then your arms are going to come to the right hip side and you're going to do a little twist. Now you have two choices. You can use your hands to walk yourself back and go to the other side. Bring both hands over to the left hip and do a little body twist. Or you can challenge yourself and do the switch rotation with no hands. Bring your hands to the outside of the right hip and twist. Switch to the other side. If you are like me, when you switch from side to side, your butt walks forward. So just readjust yourself if you need to so you can stay in your location. And then just do this at your own pace. Side to side. The seated version of leg flopping. This allows us to do a little bit through the spine. We're going to stretch through our glute muscles a little bit more. So on your next right side, I want you to pause for a moment at the right. And I want you to center your chest up with your right knee and just walk your hands forward as far as you feel comfortable. You don't have to go very low before your right glute starts to tell you about it. Getting a nice big stretch. You can just stay tall. You can come down further. You can lengthen your arms out overhead and just lay over your leg if you have that mobility. If you don't force it. You can rest onto your elbows, to your forehead, to a block, or you can stay a little taller on your arms, on your hands, the palms of your hands. Nice, good, deep glute stretch. Slowly walk yourself up. And let's transition back and forth a couple of times. You don't have to go all the way around into the twist, just back and forth a couple of times. And then go over to the left side, pause, center your chest up with your left knee. Start to walk your hands forward of the left knee. Get that nice glute stretch. You can go down in increments, stopping at the palms, lowering a little bit further maybe, walking a little further. Finding your mobility limit without pain. Getting a nice glute stretch. Gently walk yourself back up. Bring your body to center and go side to side again. Just a couple of times. We're kind of massaging that glute after you've stretched it out. Taking it side to side. All right, then bring that leg around. Practice your roll down. Roll downs are difficult, but they're an easy way to practice and to work on your abs without working on your abs. You know what I mean? Any chance you get, practice a roll down. You can practice a roll down in bed even. Stay up nice and tall and start rolling under the back of your sit bones, rolling towards your sacrum, low back, pull that belly in, rolling down as slow as humanly possible, all the way to the floor. Rock your knees side to side a little bit. Straighten out the left leg. Draw the right knee into your chest. Give it a nice little hug. Left hand on the outside of the right knee, right hand pressing to the floor as you roll left. Breathe. And roll back. Switching feet. Straighten right leg. Bring left one in for a nice little hug. Put the right hand on the outside of the left thigh. Left hand to the floor, pressing through the left arm as you roll right. Breathe. And roll back. Relax. Pressing both knees in the air, feet on the floor. I want you to flex your right foot and take it to the ceiling. We're not utilizing any straps or anything, but if you feel like you need to, you certainly may. A nice soft bend in the knee. I want you to open that leg out to the right as far as you feel comfortable, then bring it back in. Then I want you to roll your hips to the left, keeping that leg straight. Roll hips left. You can place your left hand on your inner right thigh for support. Open your right arm and turn and look at your right hand. Bring the hand in first. Pull the belly into the spine and roll back up. Bend the knee, place the foot on the floor. Flex the left foot, take it to the ceiling. Soft bend in the knee, open out to the left side as far as you feel comfortable. Pull the belly in on an exhale to lift back up. Roll everything right as far as you feel comfortable. Taking your left arm out, turning your head and looking at your left hand. Breathe. Pull the belly deep into the spine as you roll yourself back up. Bend the knee, place the foot back on the floor. And relax. Rocking your hips side to side a little bit. I want you to put your hands on your hip bones. Place your knees together and walk your feet to the outside edges of your mat for just a moment. Before we do Savasana, we're going to do a body check. So the first half, we did quite a bit of upper body, and the second, we did quite a bit of lower body. How does your mobility feel? If you are someone that has pain on a regular basis, what's your pain level? Were any parts of that difficult? Were any parts of that I don't ever want to do again? Or I think there's a way that you could modify it. Maybe you thought of a modification that you didn't get a chance to do that could make it work for you. Just surveying through your hips, through your shoulders, taking a few breaths. How do things feel? Was it easier than you thought? As difficult as you thought it would be, or more difficult? Take one nice big breath. Or as you release it out, prepare yourself for Savasana. Getting all your creature comforts together, your bolsters, your blankets. It's definitely blanket season where most of y'all are. It's not yet blanket season at my house. It will be a beautiful day for a parade. For those of you that are watching this, this recording is a Veterans Day recording. And we'll be doing a parade in the park today. Get into your Savasana position, getting the last bit of your wiggles and movements out. Come into your breath. Be the observer, not the controller of breath. Let your body do what it naturally does. As the observer of the breath, how has your breath changed before class versus at the end of class? If you find that you're breathing, your natural breathing, your uncontrolled breathing is a little bit deeper, that's a good sign. That's a good sign that you've come into some relaxation. You've let go. You've released a little bit of stress and anxiety. Slow, shallow breaths. Unless you're running a marathon, are a good sign that your body is in distress, whether it be from stress or anxiety, anger. Taking moments to move and release that, slowing down your breathing. Your body doesn't know the difference when it goes into that stress, fight or flight. It doesn't know if it's from anger. It doesn't know if it's from sadness. It doesn't know if it's from fear, from an outside source of stress, from falling off a cliff. It doesn't know the difference. It just knows to react. Practicing yoga, practicing breath. Your body also doesn't know the difference on how it got relaxed. The breathing will calm the body a bit. You You can force that calm by forcing deep breaths. And the body will respond appropriately, even if it's just for a few moments of time. Giving your body that break, pulling it out of that fight and flight. As you bring yourself deeper into your body, I want you to bring your awareness right into the belly button. Moving up a little bit from the belly button, but below the breastbone, right into where they refer to as the solar plexus. Move your awareness up into the heart center. Just doing a little check-in with the body. Feeling motions with the breath. Maybe you feel your heartbeat. Move your awareness into your throat, into the voice box. Move your awareness right into the center of your forehead. Imagine piercing awareness through the skin and skull into the brain. Being aware of the brain being protected by the skull, of all the layers of membrane and skins, hair. And then draw your awareness to the crown of your head, right where you would have had your soft spot as a baby. Imagine that that little soft spot area is like an open fountain, but not a fountain of water, but almost of smoke. If you've ever lit a little piece of incense, one of those little cones or something, and it just lets that little smoke out the top, and it kind of billows down and around. Imagine that just billowing down around your face, down your hair, down your neck and shoulders, along the floor, along the feet. Feeling the calmness of the cloud, allowing uneasiness to slough off, stress to melt away, knowing that in this moment you're taking care of yourself, taking a moment for yourself, taking care of your mind, your body, your soul, your heart, putting tools in the toolbox for our day-to-day life. I want you to imagine that just like the cord returns into the vacuum when you hit the button, all that smoke just rolls back up into the skin, into the scalp, drawing your awareness back down into your forehead, through the brain, down to the throat, down to the heart, into the solar plexus, to the belly, And then going beyond the belly, down into our pelvic floor, down to the root of our being, grounding us. Take a nice big deep breath. Fill the air all the way to the pelvic floor. And then audibly release it. And wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll your wrists and ankles. Elbows, knees, hips, shoulders, creating a little bit of movement through the joints. Turning your head side to side. When you're ready, draw one knee at a time into your chest. You can either sit still or you can roll a little bit. And then roll over onto your side, transitioning gravity to the back, from the back body to the side body. Give it support. Give it time. Let all the fluids settle. You may or may not have noticed that as we age in life, it takes a little bit longer for those fluids to settle, and getting up too fast makes us dizzy. What is that about? Give your body time. Gently press yourself up into a seated position, rooting through sit bones, legs in or out, wherever you're most comfortable. Keeping that tall spine, lengthening through the crown. Lift your head to the ceiling and then down to the chest, taking it up and down. Bring the head to center, take it side to side. Bring it back to center, roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. A couple of good rolls, then go the other direction. Having our arms at our side, inhale, gather air, lengthen from sit bones through torso, shoulders, fingertips. Exhale down. Another breath, nice and gentle, no lengthening, no reaching, no stretching, just gathering. Hands together overhead. Bring them down to your chest as you flutter your eyes open. And namaste.